But first and foremost,
The excitement's starting this morning already.
Alex is an ice road trucker.
First and foremost, things are getting exciting already this morning. Alex drives an ice road truck. Alex Debogorski had already cheated death many times before ice road truckers made him famous. In 1 week he was in 37 bars fights, 11 attempted robberies, and almost got crushed in a coal mine. But he wasn't ready for what happened next. As his TV fame grew, bad things kept happening. 2 kids died, huge debts, and a disease that could kill them. The man who beat the ice roads is now 71 years old and facing his toughest fight yet. The Canadian author Alex Debogorski was born on August 4, 1953, in Berwyn. Stan and Irene, his parents, had lived through the terrible things that happened in Poland during World War II. Stanley was a brave paratrooper in the Free Polish Brigade, who fought in Operation Market Garden and other dangerous tasks. To stay safe, he had to hide for weeks from German soldiers. Irene was also very interesting. She went to Cambridge University and learned math and music while bombs went off all around her. They met by chance in 1943 in an air raid bunker. Even though the war was crazy, they fell in love and got married in just 6 months. Stan and Irene couldn't go back to Poland after the war. The Soviet Union now ran the country, and people like Stanley who had fought for the Free Polish forces were seen as foes. They chose to start over in Canada and leave everything behind. They got on a crowded ship in 1952 to cross the Atlantic. The trip was rough with rough waves, and Irene, who was pregnant with Alex, got very sick at sea. It took them 2 weeks to get to Halifax, Nova Scotia. To get to Alberta, where farming was cheap, they went west from there. After a year, their first child born in Canada, Alex, was born. Alex lived on a farm in northern Alberta as a child. It was hard to live there. The winters were so cold that the mercury often dropped below -40 degrees Celsius. Everything was covered in snow for months, and the family had to work hard just to stay warm and feed the animals. Every fall they got ready for winter by cutting down trees for firewood, putting food away, and getting all of the farm tools ready. Alex learned how to think ahead and keep calm when things get tough. It wasn't much better in the summer. Mosquitoes and black flies came in droves because of the heat, making working outside very unpleasant. No matter how hard it was, Alex and his family worked through it all by planting food and taking care of animals. Alex had a list of things he needed to do every day by the time he was 7. He took care of the cows, fed the chickens, and picked up the eggs. He had more duties as he aged. He learned how to fix fences, drive trucks, and help with the hard work of harvest time. Before an early frost could ruin their crops, his family worked non-stop for 2 weeks one year when he was 14. Alex said that taught him how important it is to work with others and not give up, even when things get tough. There were times when life on the farm was amazing, even though it was hard. Happiness. Alex loved seeing the northern lights in the winter when the sky was clear. He also liked walking through the woods near the farm, talking to birds, and watching nature. But it wasn't always easy for him to grow up. People picked on him at school because he was shy and awkward. He spent more time by himself because of these events, which helped him develop a vivid mind and a love for telling stories. Afterwards, this would help him stand out on ice road truckers. A lot of what Alex did was shaped by his family background. During World War II, his maternal grandfather was a major in the Polish infantry. The Germans killed him because he helped Jews leave Poland. Alex was deeply moved by this story of bravery and selflessness. It gave him a strong sense of right and wrong, and the guts to take risks when they were needed. Alex's parents also made sure that he and his brothers knew how important it was to be Polish. When family got together, they told stories about the war, sang traditional Polish songs, and ate hearty meals that kept their history alive. People knew him as an ice road trucker, but he had done crazy, dangerous, and difficult work before. At the age of 18, Alex got his first job as a bouncer at the Yellowknife Inn on August 17, 1971. This was a bar where fights were common. In his first week on the job, he broke up 37 bars fights, got 2 black eyes, and even broke a rib. He didn't give up though. He kicked out more than 2,000 loud customers over the course of 18 months. He almost got stabbed 13 times, but each time he was able to escape it. To make a change, Alex got a job as a car driver in Edmonton in 1973. It looked like this job was safer, but it wasn't. In just 6 months, 11 people tried to rob him. It got really bad on October 3, 1973, when a rider pulled out a knife and demanded his money. Alex fought back, drawing on his skills as a bouncer. He took the thief's gun away and held him until the cops arrived. Alex moved to Alberta's oil lands in early 1974. He worked as an oil worker, and his shifts were 16 hours long, and it got as cold as -40 degrees Celsius. On July 12, 1974, a drilling pipe came loose and almost hit him in the head. Alex didn't back down when things got dangerous. He showed he wasn't afraid of hard work. Alex began working in the coal mines of Grande Cache, Alberta, in November 1974. He worked every day 2,000 feet below ground, where there were always dangers like cave-ins, gas blasts, and coal dust that could hurt his lungs. 3 miners were caught when a vault fell on March 22, 1975. Alex dug for them for 17 hours, with just his hands and a small shovel. Even though these jobs were hard, they taught him how to stay calm under pressure and get things done quickly. He learned things that would help him as an ice road truck driver. Alex also had an exciting romantic life. He married his high school love Louise on June 15, 1972, when he was 19 years old. Alex, who was 6 feet 3 inches tall and had terrible dance moves, knocked over Louise, who was 5 feet 2 inches tall, at a school dance on September 7, 1969. This was the start of their story. Instead of getting mad, Louise laughed, and that's how they met. Alex took her on a drive across a frozen lake late at night on their 3rd date. The ice under their car broke, but Alex quickly thought of a way to get them to beach safely. It didn't scare Louise. Instead, it brought them closer. Alex was there for Louise when she found out she was pregnant on March 12, 1972. He used a ring he made from a silver dollar to ask her to marry him, and didn't care what other people thought about how young they were. There were only 23 people at their wedding, and everyone brought something to eat. They even made their own dandelion wine. They camped in the woods for their vacation, and met a grizzly bear there. For the Debogorskis, this kind of joy was nothing new. At first, life was hard. In the years 1972, 1976, they lived in 14 different places, such as a school bus and a house without running water. It snowed on November 18, 1972, when Louise gave birth to their first child, Cielo. They were late getting to the hospital, so Alex had to give birth on his own. Alex's first job as a truck driver was at the McIntyre Porcupine coal mine on September 3, 1972. His lie that he had driven cars on his family farm was not true. He had no real experience. On his first day of work, he was put in a huge Euclid R50 dump truck that was the size of a house. First time around, he almost tipped it over, but he learned quickly. It was a terrible job with dangerous conditions and long hours. His truck went off the road during a storm and almost fell into a 200-foot drop. Alex did great, even though there were risks, and by July 1973, he was promoted to lead driver. Alex went to Yellowknife with his wife Louise and their 2 children in 1976. They only had $500 and a broken-down truck that stopped working just outside of town. That's how they got it to where it was. They lived in it for 3 weeks and used a laundrette to stay warm. Alex overheard someone at a diner talking about work as an ice road truck driver on May 17, 1976. He jumped at the chance, even though he had never done it before. Late May, when the ice was melting, was a bad time for his first trip. He almost had his truck slide through the ice, but he got it over. Alex wasn't scared on that trip. Instead, it made him really want to drive on the ice. He learned about ice roads, the weather, and how trucks work over the next few months. By 1977, he was known for being skilled and dependable. Alex took a risky trip in the middle of a blizzard on February 14, 1977, to bring medical supplies to a remote town. He made it through 52 hours of bad vision, but he did it. Because he was so brave and committed, people in the area started calling him the Ice Road Angel. Alex Debogorski was going about his normal life in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, on a cold January 2007 morning. Everything changed that day. People from the TV company Original Productions came to town to find someone to be on a new reality show about ice road trucking. They kept hearing Alex's name when they talked to locals. It looked like everyone agreed. This man was the best ice road driver ever. The directors were interested, so they set out to find him. On January 17, 2007, they finally found Alex. He was sitting at a nearby diner. He always eats 4 eggs, bacon and pancakes for breakfast. Alex thought the producers were salespeople when they approached him, but they told him they were making a show about how dangerous it is to work as an ice road truck driver. Alex was interested, but wary. The directors were blown away by his big personality, deep voice, and amazing ability to tell stories. He talked about dangerous animals, icy roads that his truck could slip on, and being in the middle of nowhere in the woods. They knew they had found their star after hearing his stories. Alex had everything they needed for the show because he had driven on icy roads for 26 years. Alex still wasn't sure about being on TV. He told his family about it at dinner on February 3, 2007. Louise, his wife, didn't like the idea. She was afraid that cameras would be watching them and that the attention would cause trouble. Alex felt the same way. He didn't want the show to make ice road trucking look fake or silly. He also thought that being 53 years old might be too old for the stress of being filmed. He wasn't sure what to do for weeks. When he asked other truckers for help, some told him that the fame might not be worth it. Alex even met with Father Joseph, a priest in the area, on March 15, 2007. Alex should do what his heart tells him, the priest said, but told him that being on TV would mean he had to do a lot of things. Making the choice wasn't simple, but on April 2, 2007, everything changed. Alex's oldest son called to tell him that the family had been having a hard time with money for a long time. After hearing this, Alex realized that the show could give them the money they needed. After one more talk with his family on April 10, 2007, Alex made up his mind to do it. He signed the contract on April 15, 2007, just a few weeks before shooting started. Alex quickly became a fan favorite when Ice Road Truckers first aired on June 17, 2007. People loved how happy he was, how calm he was in dangerous scenarios, and how strong his faith was. Over 3,000 fan notes from all over the world had been sent to him by the end of the first season. Other cast members came and went. On September 8, 2013, Alex began his 11th season. During season 7, Alex celebrated having been on set for 1,000 days. The crew showed him how much they cared by throwing him a party at a truck stop in Manitoba as a surprise. It wasn't easy for Alex either. On January 22, 2008, during season 2, he had a pulmonary embolism, which is a very bad health problem. For a while, he had to leave the show. When he came back in season 3, fans were thrilled. Alex had been in all 138 episodes by the time the last season ran in 2017. On March 15, 2017, he shot his last ice road trip for the show. As he thought about his 10 years on the show, it made him cry. On November 9, 2017, 3.4 million people watched the series end, and many of them were just there to see Alex. Fame was cool, but it was hard for Alex's family. Every day after the first season, he got over 50 love letters, and was asked to go on TV shows. On September 12, 2007, he went to his first big event, which was a truck show in Dallas. Over 5,000 people came to see him, and there was a line that went around the building to get his autograph. But it was hard to be away from home so much. Alex had been away from his family for 285 days by the end of the first year. Even more so for their younger children. His wife, Louise, said it was hard. Alex did his best to spend time with his family. He called home every night at 9 p.m. Alex, no matter where he was, he even stopped shooting in the middle of a dangerous ice crossing on February 14, 2011, to make a call. By 2012, Alex had a job that let him take off every third weekend, which let him spend more time with his family. A big drive for Alex was taking care of his big family of 11 kids and 13 grandkids. He worked 340 days a year before the show, and sometimes did extra jobs to make ends meet. His 11th child was born on March 18, 2008, that made him want to succeed even more. He had a stable income, thanks to the show. By 2012, it had grown by 400%, but he didn't only think about himself. In 2014, Alex set up the Debogorski Family Education Fund to help pay for college for his grandkids. The fund had grown to $500,000 by 2016. Alex always said that his family was the reason he worked so hard, no matter how hard things got. He said that Andrew Debogorski's life changed forever on June 15, 2017. In his last interview for the show, he was only 31 years old when ALS was found in him. It is also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Over time, this disease makes it so bad that a person can't move, speak, or even breathe. It was a terrible blow to his family. Andrew had a lot going on. He had 2 little kids, and was planning to marry his partner, Miriam. People in Yellowknife loved him, because he was brave and kind. He was now told that he had 2 to 5 years left to live. It had been months since Andrew last felt strong. It was hard for him to talk, and his muscles felt weaker. The neurological doctor at Stanton Territorial Hospital in Yellowknife confirmed that the person had severe ALS. It broke my heart. Andy's dad, Alex Debogorski, was shooting season 11 of Ice Road Truckers at the time. As soon as Alex heard the news, he ran back home. The family got together and planned to do everything they could. They went to see doctors in Edmonton and Vancouver in the hopes of getting better news. But each doctor said the same thing. Andrew had ALS that was very bad and moving quickly. It only took a few weeks for Andrew's health to get worse. He was no longer able to work by August 2017. He used to drive a big machine, but now he needed a wheelchair to get around. It got harder to understand what he was saying, and it was hard for him to eat. The family was strong. Andrew kept his funny side, even as the illness got worse. He was very brave, and everyone around him was moved by it. The prices of taking care of Andrew were too high. Alex set up a GoFundMe page called Andrew's ALS Fight on July 1, 2017, to raise $100,000. The reaction was wonderful. They raised $25,000 in just 24 hours. They had more than $75,000 by the end of July. People from Canada, the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom all gave money. The family also set up events. They had a concert and silent sale at the Yellowknife Elks Lodge in September. Local artists played, but Alex couldn't make it, so he sent a video message instead. They raised an extra $32,000 that night. The family held a neighborhood yard sale in April 2018 called Wheels for Andrew. They needed a van that could fit people in wheelchairs, and the event raised $40,000. In October 2018, Alex also went on a tour across Canada to raise money to bring attention to ALS. He drove his truck from Yellowknife to Toronto, stopping in towns along the way. At a dinner in Toronto, at the end of the tour, they raised $150,000. All of the work put in raised $487,000. By the end of 2018, this money was used to pay for Andrew's medical care, special tools, and experimental treatments that his insurance didn't cover. ALS didn't get better with all this help. Andy could not walk by the beginning of 2018. He had to use a motorized bike to get around. In March, he needed something to help him talk. In the same month, he started having trouble breathing, just 1 year after being told he had cancer. In June 2018, Andrew got pneumonia. He was taken to the hospital right away and stayed for 2 weeks. He made it through, but he needed a machine to breathe and care 24 hours a day. Andrew got married to Miriam in April 2018, despite everything. It was a lovely ceremony, but it was sad. It was hard for Andrew to stand at the altar and say his vows. He needed help.
The day was still full of love. Drew's spirit stayed strong, even though he lost more of his physical skills. He couldn't move at all by fall. He talked to people by looking at letters on a screen with eye gaze technology. He kept in touch with family and friends, and kept his mind sharp. On December 28, 2018, bad things happened. Their house in Yellowknife caught on fire. Miriam was able to save their 2 young children, Miroslav, 4 months, and Naya, 5 years old. But Andrew couldn't get away, because he was stuck in his wheelchair. The firefighters got there quickly, but they didn't have time to get to him. He was taken to the hospital, but they said he was dead from breathing in smoke. He was only 33 years old. No one ever found out what caused the fire, leaving the family with even more worries and pain. Andrew's last moments were brave. As the fire spread, he used his gadget to tell Miriam to get the baby out of the house. His last words kept his family safe. Andrew had been making plans for emergencies for months. He kept a fire extinguisher close by, and did fire drills with his family. His planning and brave act at the end made sure that his family and friends would live. Alex could not handle losing Andrew. He had gone to see Andrew just 4 days before the Christmas Eve fire. It broke his heart to see his son so weak and helpless, unable to move or speak. Alex felt guilty a lot of the time. He wasn't at home when the fire broke out, because he had to work as a truck driver to pay the bills. He heard about the fire while he was driving. He felt bad that he wasn't there, and it bothered him. During the next few weeks, Alex got strength from his faith and his family. He shared sad posts about Andrew on social media and felt better after getting support from friends all over the world. Alex also spoke out for ALS research and fire safety. Alex Debogorski became well known for his role on Ice Road Truckers, but even though he was successful on TV, he has had money troubles that fans may not know about. People know his name and face, but he hasn't made as much money as many would have thought. He was only worth about $400,000 by 2022. After decades of hard work and being a TV star, this seems like a small reward. Real-life TV stars don't make as much money as people think, which is one reason for this. Alex once made a joke, "I'm just famous. Please give me $20 so I can get my teeth fixed. That's all I can remember." It was funny, but it also showed how little money he really had. Running ice roads is another winter job. Alex doesn't make money all year. In 2020, he said that he still needed to work as a truck driver during the summer to make money. Also, it takes a lot of money to keep trucks in good shape for the dangerous ice roads. Alex had to ask for $7,500 in gifts in 2018 to fix his truck. It was a clear sign that his money wasn't solid, even though the show had ended years ago. Alex has 11 children and more than 12 grandkids. Taking care of such a big family costs a lot more money. He has also said that because of his deal with the History Channel, he couldn't get advertising deals to make extra money. In other words, he couldn't fully make more money with his fame. Even though Alex is famous, he still has trouble with money for all of these reasons. Alex's health has also been hurt by his job as an ice road truck driver. In 2008, when season 2 of Ice Road Truckers was being filmed, one of the scariest things ever happened. It was a pulmonary embolism that sent him to the hospital right away. This is a dangerous blood clot in the lung. He quit the show in the middle of the season because it was so bad. This showed how dangerous the job really is. Alex has been hurt a lot in his work. He broke his feet and legs, hit his head several times, and was even hit by a freight train. Because of these injuries, he is in pain all the time and has trouble moving around. His body also got tired from working hard and the cold weather. He got arthritis in his knees and hands, most likely from years of walking around with cold driving wheels and getting in and out of trucks. He also lost some hearing because the trucks were so loud. Alex keeps working even though these things are going wrong. He does, however, take on shorter, easier jobs to take care of his health. He's also said that trucks need better health care and more help. Alex stays strong and keeps going despite everything. Alex's life has also been full of tragedy. Alex lost his son Alexander Jr., also known as AJ, on June 16, 2024. He was only 41 years old. Alex's family and fans were shocked by his sudden death. The fact that AJ died, leaving a wife and 6 kids behind, made the loss even worse for the family. This wasn't the first bad thing that happened to Alex. Andrew, another son, died in a house fire in 2019. He was 32 years old. Andrew was told 2 years ago that he had ALS. Alex and his family have been through a lot since losing 2 boys in 5 years. Fans and other truckers came together to support AJ after he died. They made a group on Facebook called Alexander Jr. You can share stories and pictures on Debogorski Memories. A lot of people wrote about how much they loved AJ's humor, kindness, and strong family values. Alex wrote about his sadness online. He has been through so much pain. Alex talked about Andrew's death in an interview after he died in 2019. He got teary-eyed when he talked about how Andrew's last act was to save his wife and children from the fire. Alex keeps meeting friends and going to events, even though he is sad. Some fans have noticed that he seems quieter in person, but he still smiles for pictures and signs autographs. Being a Catholic has helped him deal with things. Prayer and Alex's faith in a greater power give him the strength to keep going. Alex's time on ice road truckers was full of memories he will never forget. On a narrow ice road in season 3, his truck almost hit a fuel van. Each driver slammed on their brakes, and the tanker hit Alex's truck from the side. An explosion could have happened after a crash, but Alex quickly thought of a way to stop it. He drove a 100-ton crane across thin cracking ice in another show. Being calm helped him deliver it safely. During his work, Alex has been in situations where his life was in danger. His truck almost sank through a frozen lake in 1999. The trailer sank into the cold water, and he just barely saved the cab. When it snowed in 2008, his truck spun on black ice and almost went off a mountain road. Alex always relied on his skill and knowledge to stay alive. Alex has won a lot of awards for his work. There was an award for him in 2012 from the Canadian Trucking Alliance. He was made a member of the North American Trucking Hall of Fame in 2014. A prize was also given to him for driving over 1.5 million miles on icy roads without a big accident. These awards show how skilled and hard-working he is as a truck driver. Alex wrote a book called King of the Road: True Tales from a Legendary Ice Road Trucker in 2010. The book told stories from his life, such as the scary and interesting things that happened to him on ice roads. It sold a lot of copies and was translated into 12 languages. Alex went on a 20-city tour to sell the book. He met fans and told them amazing stories. Alex is not only a good truck driver, but also a great writer, as shown by how well the book did.